The fourth and final stage of the UAE Tour Women 2026, and a day for the climbers and general classification hopefuls to light things up on the Queen stage. The majestic Jabal Hafeet awaits. With Noanna van der Breggen for SD Worx Pro Time, the Dutch squad have to adjust their plans. The former world champion suffering with a throat infection. The Swiss champion Steffi Haberlin having to step up to the task. The 2025 winner Elisa Longo-Borghini looking to make it 3 general classification wins, but she's going to have strong opposition. The Queen stage is the longest, a 156-kilometre stage from Al Hassan bin Said Stadium, passing the flatlands of Al Ain, including 2 intermediate sprints, one at the UAE University, the second with only 13.9 kilometres to go at Green Mabazara, before reaching the foothills of Jabal Hafeet with 10.8 kilometres to go. After a calm, neutralised section, the stage was officially waved underway. And it didn't take long for Sara Lusan of Top Girls Fassa Bortolo to go on the move for the 3rd day in a row. The 20-year-old Italian took the 8 points and 3 bonus seconds at the intermediate sprint, but crucially was now the virtual leader of the black intermediate sprints jersey. Behind, Gillespie in green, Cock in black and Verhulst-Wild all went head-to-head. Lusan was reeled back in, but it was an objective one of the day ticked off for the Italian. With 95.4 kilometres to go, Dutch woman Amber van der Hulst of Volker Wessels escaped the peloton and went solo, only to be caught 30 kilometres later. Phoenix Premier Tech took control with Marlene de Zutter and Charlotte Kool. With no real contender in their roster for the general classification, they had to get creative and try their luck with a different tactic in a different manner. The tail crosswind causing a lot of havoc and a lot of tension in the peloton. But after a change in direction on the route, escaping the tail crosswind dangers, 3 riders went on the move. Canadian champion Alison Jackson, Alexa Magna of EF Education Oakley in pink, and Laura Lizette Sander of High Tech Products Fluid Control. They were all reeled back in. That was because Laura Gillespie in green of UAE Team ADQ had everything under control. With Jabal Hafeet looking vicious up ahead, there was still one more intermediate sprint to come with 13.9 kilometres to go. A big sprint and a big effort from Laura Gillespie in green, who sealed the deal, taking the 8 points and the 3 bonus seconds. Margot Vigie taking the 5 points, with Francisca Koch taking the 3. It meant that the 20-year-old Italian Sara Lusan took the black intermediate sprints jersey classification. All she needed to do was finish the stage. A fast and ferocious pace into the bottom of Jabal Hafeet, the 10.8 kilometre climb averaging 6.6%, seeing the riders having to tackle double-digit gradients of 11%. Zoe Backstead had done a great job for Canyon SRAM Zonda Crypto for Kasia Niewiadoma, the Polish champion, setting things up. But with 8.6 kilometres to go, Lorena Wiebes in the red leaders jersey was distanced. Amanda Spratt, on her first appearance at the UAE Tour Women, started to make an acceleration for Little Trek, all to set up Niamh Fisher-Black. This then caused a ricochet effect. The Italian champion Elisa Longo-Borghini went on the move. She was closely followed by Kasia Niewiadoma. Fisher-Black managing to get on terms, as did Monica Trinker-Colonel and Femke de Vries. 5 riders were in the chase, including Juliette Berthet and Justine Gequera. The pace being set by the Italian of Liverlula Jaco in the purple was all too much for the Mauritian champion Kim Lecourt, and the rider from AG Insurance Soudal was distanced. With 3.7 kilometres to go, Longo-Borghini realised this could be her moment to try and drop her rivals on the Jabal Hafeet climb. The gap was opening up to the chasers, and she wanted to make sure that she didn't take any rivals to the finish. In the white jersey, the Polish champion Kasia Niewiadoma of Canyon SRAM Zonda Crypto managed to bridge across, with Femke de Vries in yellow fighting tooth and nail. Trinka Colonel and Fisher Black couldn't respond, but Kasia Niewiadoma hauled her way up the climb. But each and every time she got to the wheel of the Italian champion, Longo Borghini made another blistering attack. Her accelerations were so vicious, it meant that Niewiadoma couldn't respond and capitulated on Jabal Hafeet. The gap only continued to grow, and behind, De Vries and Trinka Colonel was starting to come back with a second wave of energy. They made the junction to Niewiadoma, and Niewiadoma not able to respond to De Vries and Trinka Colonel. In top flight, Longo Borghini had daylight to the rest of her rivals, and in the end, as she came into the hoardings, it was Elisa Longo Borghini who reigned supreme at the top of Jabal Hafeet, the Italian champion sealing the deal at the top of this majestic wonder with a sensational performance to seal the deal and win a third general classification title. Behind it was Monica Trinka Colonel of Liverlula Jaco, who took second place on the stage, sealing second place in the general classification, with Femke De Vries delighted with third place on the stage and third overall. A proud moment for Elisa Longo Borghini, a display of dominant, wonderful teamwork from UAE Team ADQ on home soil. Elisa Longo Borghini is the queen of Jabal Hafeet. She wins the stage 12 seconds ahead of Monica Trinka Colonel, Femke De Vries at 14 seconds. In the point standings, Lorena Wiebes makes it a third consecutive points jersey, winning 7 points ahead of Lara Gillespie. Eleonora Chiabocco of Picnic Postenel takes home the Best Young Rider classification, 1 minute 35 seconds to Zoe Backstead. In the general classification, it's Elisa Longo Borghini of UAE Team ADQ who takes home her third general classification title, with Monica Trinka Colonel having a standout performance, with Femke De Vries rounding out the podium. A perfectly executed performance from UAE Team ADQ and Elisa Longo Borghini, who took her 58th professional victory and opened up her 2026 season, winning the UAE Tour on Jabal Hafeet and the final general classification, just like she did in 2025. The UAE concludes as last year did, 3 wins going to Lorena Wiebes, 1 stage and the GC going to Elisa Longo Borghini.